How's it going? Doing a very quick walk around clip just to show you a few things that have gone on during and since the storm, if that fly will leave me alone. So we'll start here with the grass. The lawn, it's growing rather well. We had over 320 millimeters, so yeah, there's a lot of moisture still in the lawn, so I haven't gotten around to mowing it yet. Do it later in the week and the chooks will get some nice lawn clippings. This frame here, before I show you that, this frame here actually came down a couple of times, so it bashed around the cucumber a bit, the marigold took a pounding, and that zucchini got hammered a bit as well. So hopefully everything will bounce back now. It's time for these snake beans to come out, and all the gardens need a good feed. All the beds were overflowing with the amount of rain we had, so down through their little overflow ports, so definitely will be time to give these guys a bit of a liquid feed. Over here, as you can see, still messy over here. This pineapple's ready to come off. We're going to pick him today actually. I'll do him as soon as I do the clip, and as well as that watermelon down there and that one there, they're both ready to come off as well. They're just little mini watermelons, so first time we've grown them. Don't know if that's the size they're supposed to get to, but we're going to pick them anyway. Everything in here is growing fine. This bed here and this bed here actually overflowed during the rain over the top. The ports down the bottom were not letting enough water out, so I thought I may have drowned my okra there and the okra over here. Drilled a couple of holes in the back of that bed and the back of that bed, and the water just poured out. So yeah, it's something I'm going to have to look into, but these three beds here will probably move when we expand the aquaponics, so I'm not too concerned. We'll grow the okra out and see what happens. This bed here was fine, not a problem with it whatsoever, so aquaponics is going alright. I trimmed back the mango tree up here and did the last harvest. We got 36 more green mangoes off the mango tree, so they're ripening upstairs. The ones from the week before ripened up nicely, so very impressed. And these eggplants are doing really well, can't complain at all. Oh, these strawberries. I'm going to collect another load of these strawberry runners, and these ones here in particular looking rather good, and I want to get about a dozen or so and put them in different barrels, probably 4 in 3 barrels. And Bianca and I talked about it, and we're going to clear this bed out and we're going to use it for other bits and pieces. We really need to ramp up our food production, and having this just with strawberries for a whole, for a whole season, growing season, autumn, is really taking up space. So they'll go into a couple of barrels. This okra in here is booming, it's doing really well. This barrel here had the beetroot in it, was infested with nematodes. I treated it with the molasses, and even these warrigal greens have just bounced back. They're looking glossy, healthy. We got seeds forming on them, so Joy, I'll be able to send you some seeds down. I'm very, very impressed with how the molasses takes care of the nematodes. I've got another bed, 2 beds actually, that need a bit of a treatment, so that's going to come in handy. These are the mangoes that have fallen on the chook coop. These guys here are going to be buried under some dry lawn clippings out the front, trying to make up some compost. These worm farms were actually split. I harvested all the castings from there, and I've used that in a couple of beds down the back. And then what I did was half this barrel into there, and I mowed up a whole heap of plants that I'd taken out of the beds, and I fed the worms. So these guys should hopefully start building up some more castings for us. To show you this kangkong, it's doing really, really well, as is this Tahitian lime. This is the first year we've got so many limes. Last year we got 2, and they fell off when they were about that big. So this turmeric here is just blown me away with how well it's grown in this barrel. I'm very impressed with that. These carrots haven't blown me away, and they're being stripped back by grasshoppers, so let's see if we can frighten a few out. No, none there. So they'll be harvested soon. All the rest of them, some have already been harvested. This lemongrass is booming. These jalapenos turned out to be ball chilies. Most impressed with that. They're really nice. I accidentally had a whole one in a chicken soup, and it was hot and it was delicious. So I used some of them in another Thai style chili paste today. Sean, just quickly, there you go, there's your baijilokias. I'm definitely going to have many, many chilies to send you, because I think I'll probably only need 1 for the whole year. So it's doing really well. The beetroot all in here showed signs of nematode attack, so I pulled them, and that's probably why the chilies and the capsicums or sweet peppers in here all started to go a little bit manky. I've given them a bit of a clip back, fed up the soil, gave them some extra nutrients, and did a bit of a molasses around the roots of them all, and they are bouncing back, so I'm happy about that. but these tomatillos are coming out. I was down here earlier and there's enough down here for me to make up at least one batch of roasted tomatillo salsa that Sean put me onto. So I'm going to give those guys a whirl in that and we'll see how they go. The plants will be coming out. I'll leave the capsicums and the chilies in here. The basil will all come out, and we're going to plant some brassicas in here very soon. I'm just going to start the seeds. I think we'll probably do broccoli and cauliflower in this bed, and up in this bed up here, this is nematode free, that's a good bed. I'll do some kohlrabi. These are the KY1 heirloom tomatoes. Thanks Narelle, they're doing fantastic, really happy with them. That's Sean's yellow 7. Still no flowers that I can see. Just show you up here, this snake bean is booming. That is the best snake bean plant I can honestly say we have ever grown. It's a little self-sown one, volunteer, feral, black seeded variety, and the pods on there are massive. They're big and thick and looking very healthy. I have also planted down the bottom some brown seeded snake beans, so hopefully they'll do just as well. In fact, I think that leaf is a little bit different in colour and he may actually be one of the brown seeded ones. So we've got some beans on there. You can tell they're the black seeded ones because they are a shorter bean. But yeah, I'm most impressed. The little chocolate capsicum over here is doing really, really well. Very happy with that. There's 4 nice big capsicums on there, and we're getting a whole heap of new growth come through there that looks really healthy. So in here's doing really well. This bed here, we had some hydrophobic soil in this bed. I stripped everything out. There was beans down that end and there was zucchinis here, and I did the mulch. I top mulched it with horse manure and worm castings from the worm barrel up there that was full of worms and worm cocoons. Started watering it and the water was just running straight off because I didn't want to dig it through, doing the no dig method, and the soil was just too hydrophobic. So off came everything into the barrel over there, and I dug through a bag of horse manure. So what happens is with the hydrophobic soils, the grains and the crystals within the soil, depending on what your soil is made from, dry out so much that it won't let water attach to it. Put a good link that describes it in the description. And the water just won't soak up any, the soil won't soak up any water or allow it to bond to it. So by digging through the bag of horse manure, not only does it open up cavities for the water to soak through, but the horse manure will soak up the water, and then slowly the crystals and the grains of soil will then allow water to attach to them again. But the reason why I hadn't noticed it before is this is a wicking bed. So just a brief explanation. There's a hose there that runs the whole length of the bed. It's waterproof down the bottom. There's sand down there, bedding sand down there. Put the hose down there and fill it up. So down the bottom 4 inches 10 centimeters is very wet. The plants send their roots down and soak up the moisture. I have been watering the plants this year from the top, but I've just been watering where the plants are. So I just water there, water there, water there as an example. So I wasn't watering the whole bed. So I think what's happened is the majority of the top of the bed has dried out and caused that hydrophobic occurrence to happen. So just a bit of a brief explanation. Any questions on that, drop them in the comment section below. I probably rambled on through it a little bit too quickly, but yeah, it's not a good thing, hydrophobic soils. But as you can see, after 320 millimeters of rain and horse poo dug through, very moist. So yeah, we've got little tomatoes coming up. These are, I think, Kent pumpkins that are coming up through the worm castings that were dug through here. So they won't be staying, I'll just be pulling them out and composting them. This bed's going to be more brassicas, haven't worked out what yet. Over here, my little black Russian tomato. Any ideas, people? Because I put it in here, it was looking great, then the flowers all died and that happened. This bed got the same treatment. The mulch went over the top of the timber mulch that was in here. This one was slightly hydrophobic, nowhere near as bad as that. It just took a few minutes for the water to soak in, and then it was fine. So I just got the pitchfork and stuck it in and wobbled it around to create little cavities for the water to go in. So more than happy with this bed here. Over here, the pumpkin stems rotted and fallen out, but the vine has sent so many roots into the ground, it hasn't even suffered. So it's just taking up moisture from the ground there now. Okra over here, I'm letting this one go to seed as well, and it's not doing as good as the one out the front, and it's the same age, same plant. I bought it on the same day. So so, or same type of plant that is, so it's not doing as well. But I did drop some seeds when I harvested a pod, so we've got some more okra coming up in here. I'm going to feed up this bed because this is a purchased soil that we've just put in here and then just topped over the top with the wood chips. Chicken feeder's doing what the chicken feeder should do. They're keeping that nice and mowed down, so I'm most happy that we put that one in. That's a real winner with the chicken, so yes it is. Bye bye Chook. So there you go. Any comments, questions, suggestions, drop them in the comments section below and I'll get back to you. And hopefully next time round you'll see a few more cleared beds and getting ready for winter. So I've got a whole heap of brassicas and some other seeds I bought over the weekend I'm going to plant out, so hopefully you'll see a bit of seedling action. Have a great one, take it easy. Catch ya. Yes, little ninja. So fast you didn't even see her.